It's like your bodies are two machines designed explicitly for boning each other. It's the kind of sex or lovemaking that feels like it does in movies. All photogenic and beautiful. The kind of sex where if someone walks in on you two having sex, it makes that person question everything they ever knew about sex. You can smell the passion everywhere. See, forget about the perfect body, right? Great sex leaves you questioning yourself, like what you've been doing with your sex life all this while. It leaves you breathless. It leaves you panting and revisiting that one sexual experience. You start to think about it. Wow. You think about it and you have that grrr in your abdomen. Like you still feel it. You still feel it. But the vocalization is a big turn on for your partner. So the louder you get about your sexual preferences, the better. So just know that having great chemistry makes average sex different from great sex. Like it catapults it from being average to being great. Do you understand what I'm saying? And chemistry in sex is mind-blowing. It takes ordinary to extraordinary. You want to be with someone that you're physically turned on by them, even when they're not touching you. So much so that when you're doing the makeup sex, it is mad. You are apologizing and he's taking you to cloud nine, or she's taking you to cloud nine and apologizing, and maybe tears roll and what? I'm going back to this meals and booms. So until your lovemaking feels that way, listen, that sex is ordinary. Take it to the bank. Honestly, some people may never get to experience what great lovemaking could feel like unless you're being told, and their formed notion of what great sex is provoked. Some people don't even know that what they've been experiencing is bad sex at most. All right, until they learn or until they're being told. So here are 8 things that could potentially separate average sex from great sex. Are you ready? Number 1, it's chemistry. You can't go without that. You can't have great sex without having chemistry with the person that you're having sex with. This is arguably the most important aspect of great sex. You've got to be into it. You've got to want it badly enough. Sex without chemistry is like eating a bunch of dry bread for lunch. You're doing it to satiate your hunger. It's a psychological response to your hunger at that point in time. But the act isn't actually pleasurable. So you totally have to be into each other for that to be great. Sex without chemistry is not pleasurable, I would say. The matter of the fact is that if you don't feel up to it, don't do it. No sex is always better than sex without chemistry. You and your partner must want it bad enough to get on with it as soon as you find a suitable place and time. So in simpler terms, the greatest sex that you could ever have in your life is one that you have with your partner, that you both have chemistry. And that chemistry just evokes the sort of passion that is off the roof. It's so intense and anyone can feel it when they walk into the room. And in a case where sex is simply just there, more like bland, it only means that the chemistry is not so intense enough between both of you. I mean, both of you might be striking the right notes to make the experience, more memorable enough. But deep down, you know that you're lacking something. There is something not making sense in all of this activities that both of you are engaged in. And you know that once you're off that bed, you're bound to forget about that night in a week's time. Then you know that there is no chemistry at all between you and that person that you're with. So I'll tell you this once and for all, the chemistry is something inexplicable. You cannot explain it. And just factoring chemistry into the sexual experience that you're having is like having a cold glass of barley wine roll down your throat on a very hot sunny day. The feeling is different and quite exhilarating. So just know that having great chemistry makes average sex different from great sex. Like it catapults it from being average to being great. Do you understand what I'm saying? The only people who have sex that is just bland are maybe people who have fallen out of love, or people who just met for the first time and they just want to do this one night stand. But if you've been in a relationship with someone that you truly love and that person loves you, there is no way that you'll go into sex with that person and you feel sex is bland, because there is always a chemistry that pulls both of you, that causes that attraction. And so when there is an attraction, that attraction evokes chemistry, and chemistry in sex is mind-blowing. It takes ordinary to extraordinary. That's why I'm always a believer of connecting, giving yourself to someone that you feel deeply connected to. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You mustn't always scratch an itch. Do you understand? And that's why most girls run back to their ex, because they can't find that chemistry with just a new guy that they've just met, someone that they've not built so much, especially if it's an ex that, you know, knows how to do it or put it down in a bedroom, you know. Number 2, what makes sex so great and above average is when you know both of you are trying to not feel self-conscious. It's only awkward if you let it be awkward. And even though, you know, the most intimate possible experience that two people can have together is potentially awkward, anyone who can roll with the punches and recover from maybe, number 1, strange bodily sound, or number 2, strange bodily fluid, is the type of person you want to have sex with, is the type of person that you want to make love with. But if you are not comfortable with a person, so much so that you cannot allow them to see you in your vulnerable state out of your clothes, then be rest assured that lovemaking with that person will be awkward. It will not, you would hardly reach your orgasm because you're not free. The best people, the people who have the best intercourse or the best lovemaking experiences are people or are couples who throw away their inhibitions, and they do not care about how they look in front of their partners. They're free. Like, there is nothing to hide. This is me. This is my flaws. If you like it, fine. In fact, you cannot be comfortable with someone who doesn't like your flaws. As in, like, sees your flaws, your fupa as a big deal. Because once they start making comments about your body, that will invariably cause some insecurity. And when you start having that insecurity, you cannot function. You cannot do the styles that you would otherwise want to do with a person, because you turn your back now, he would start seeing acne on your back. You turn your back now, he will start seeing stretch marks cascading around your cheeks. You know, you don't want to be with someone who does not love you beyond your flaws. Everyone has got flaws. What catapults average lovemaking to mad, extraordinary lovemaking is when there is nothing to hide. You're not shy. You're open before them as they're open before you. No inhibition of any kind. You're free. You don't care whether your boobies are flat. You don't care whether you've got stretch marks. You don't care if you've got scars, or you don't care about how you look. You don't care about your love handles. You don't care about your fupa. You don't care about your deep hips. He loves you just the way you are. And it's not like you think that he loves you just the way you are. You see how he touches and traces his fingers all over your body, making you feel much more secure. You're trying to hide your body, but he is removing your hands or whatever. He's making you feel secure by the kisses he plants all over your body, all over your floors. Baby, if your man has not taken you to that level, trust me, you've not experienced, you've not experienced what true orgasm is with that man. Because whether you have any type of orgasm with him, it might just be ordinary. But have it with a man who you've got mad chemistry with, you're not shy, he traces, or he doesn't see your flaws, he sees you as the most beautiful woman in the world, and he's not lying about it. And you can feel it in your soul that he's being honest about it. Listen, it is always going to be a cataclysmic experience in a bedroom with him. Every time. And he doesn't even have to take 1 hour to get you to cloud 9, like to get you falling off the cliff. 5 minutes, cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, you're over the cliff. You're over the cliff because you're making love to the man who adores you and you adore. You can't stay a day without. Do you understand? When I mean he cares about your body, like he doesn't care about your flaws, but he just cares enough to plant kisses on all of the parts that makes you feel insecure. Then number 3, he cares about your pleasure. Baby, he cares about your pleasure. You can tell when your partner isn't into it. Like he's going down on you, but he's not into it per se. You can tell because he's not passionate about it. He's not giving you his all. You can feel it. There is no two ways about it. You can feel it. And when he's not passionate about it, you can feel the dent in your spirit. And that would not make you have fun time. So you can tell when your partner isn't into it. If they act like they aren't getting anything out of it, that's an immediate boner killer. That's an immediate juice dryer. But if you're both enthusiastic and, legitimately wanting to see the other person get off, that alone can make for great lovemaking, regardless of your techniques or your experience or the bedmatics. Just seeing the way, the zeal, the passion, the hunger to see you get off. That's all it takes. It's all about enthusiasm. That's why I keep saying that in great lovemaking comes with great enthusiasm. If you're not enthusiastic about it, that's a mood killer. That's a mood killer. It's better you did not even start than to have started and you're not enthusiastic. You just want time to roll by and you get off. Or you're just irritated by him. You just don't want, you want to be, he's been asking for it for too long and you just want to give it to him because of, maybe there's something you want to gain from him. Or maybe there is something you want from him. So in order to make him happy, you just do what makes him get off. You're not enthusiastic. You don't care. And the truth is they notice. They notice the things. Number 4, the foreplay. The foreplay, we can't talk about having great intercourse without having to talk about foreplay. Foreplay is like the journey that leads up to the destination. If your foreplay is not it, your destination will not be as good as the journey, except it's a quickie. Now, foreplay in itself is a mind-blowing experience, and it definitely separates, ordinary lovemaking from great lovemaking. And I cannot repeat this enough about how important foreplay is to having great lovemaking session, mostly for women, because women take a longer period to get aroused. And, foreplay just builds up to the final act. It builds up to a final act. So if you're not giving much foreplay or putting more attention to foreplay, you can never really get a woman to truly enjoy the lovemaking. Great sex means a lot of good foreplay, especially oral foreplay, that keeps you going long enough, that makes you make sounds louder, that makes you want to grab the sheets a little tighter and roll your eyes into your skull to the point that you think this will be the death of you. For some people, it's more about the journey than the destination. Typically, that journey involves a detour into foreplay with your mouth, your hands, and everything. Plus, the longer you make out for, the more the anticipation. And you know what? It will lead to a slow build-up. And a slow build-up to sex is like a volcano erupting. Except if the lava was something awesome that didn't kill you. Instead, it catapulted you into another dimension that allowed for a stream, a flow of so many choices. So if you're good at your foreplay game, forget it. You're already 90% close to having the greatest sex of your life. And listen, if I cannot make out with you and I feel like my soul is about to leave my body, then we're not compatible. Now, number 5, you just discovering something new in the bedroom just catapults your ordinary sex to mind-blowing sex. And this won't happen every time that you have sex. But whenever you discover something new you're into, that's great sex. Whether you try it together or your partner introduces you to some scarf and blindfolds, or maybe you're just learning that this actually gets you to that point. It's an awesome experience that both of you would share. And it can just, especially if the activities that you've been having in the bedroom has just dropped, it seems like it is becoming monotonous. This actually can catapult you finding something new that gets you turned on, or that gets your partner turned on, can just catapult that ordinary lovemaking experience to an extraordinary lovemaking experience. That's why it's cool to be open-minded whenever you're in a bedroom with your partner. Number 6, what takes ordinary lovemaking to an extraordinary lovemaking level is when, without your partner doing anything to you, you're already hot for them. You have a partner who doesn't necessarily have to do anything. They get you hot. You see them, they walk into the room and you're just hot. You're turned on by them already. So a partner who gets you hot. I know this is not the same as a hot partner, all right? And yet, it's important to have a partner you're physically into, not just mentally, all right? You need both. Someone that you're mentally and physically, connected with. You can't do without the other, even spiritually. If you're not mentally connected, physical connection will suffer for it. If you're not physically connected, mental connection will also suffer for it. Do you get? So there's got to be a balance. Sometimes it's nice just to grab someone who seriously turns you on and not really worry about whether or not you agree on anything. You can't be arguing about a thing, but while you're arguing about a thing, you're getting turned on by this person. Like you're really upset because you guys have an argument, but as you're even getting upset, you're getting turned on by this person because you're physically into them. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, where You're upset with this person, but they walk into the room, or even while you're verbally talking, you're not abusing each other because you can't be physically into someone and you're in an argument and you're just calling them names. You can't. Because if you love someone, you will respect them and you be careful about how you speak to them, even in the midst of your argument. So, but have you ever realized that when you're with someone who you're even upset with, you can't be upset. You're upset with them, but you're turned on by them. Imagine when you now try to meet in the middle or compromise and then have this makeup sex with them. You know that makeup sex is going to be mind-blowing. You know that, right? It's not going to be the ordinary everyday sex that you guys used to have. It will be mind-blowing. That's why you have to see, if you're not attracted to a person, don't marry them. You've got to be attracted to someone, because when time for quarrel starts, you want to be able to also feel a thing down there in the night so that you guys can settle it in the bedroom. But if that person originally, you did not have any level of chemistry for them, and they come to, and you guys have a misunderstanding, and the person wants to touch you, you'll be super irritated by them. Do you get? So you want to be with someone that you're physically turned on by them, even when they're not touching you. So much so that when you're doing the makeup sex, it is mad. You are apologizing and he's taking you to cloud nine, or she's taking you to cloud nine and apologizing, and maybe tears roll and what? I'm going back to this mules and booms. So yeah. Number 7. Raw animalistic loss can change that ordinary lovemaking to extraordinary lovemaking. Like that. You know? Like raw animalistic, primal lust for that person. So instead of embracing the fun, awkward, messy side of lovemaking, it's like your bodies are two machines designed explicitly for boning each other. It's the kind of sex or lovemaking that feels like it does in movies. All photogenic and beautiful. The kind of sex where if someone walks in on YouTube having sex, it makes that person question everything they ever knew about sex. They would wonder if they've been doing it all wrong. It's that type of sex where you make a person who is watching blush and want to have it, because it is raw, unfiltered. You can smell the passion everywhere. You can smell the passion. You can feel the heat. You can feel. You watch it and you feel maybe someone is watching from outside. You don't know that someone is watching from outside. And the person who is watching from outside is feeling that rumbling in their tummy because of the passion that can be felt in the room. The animalistic, the lust for each other. It's like you both cannot have enough of each other. Until your lovemaking feels that way, listen, that sex is ordinary. Take it to the bank, but you will not be able to cash out. Someone used to say that on Instagram. Take that to the bank and you will not be able to cash out. And that doesn't make what I've just said false. Number 8, what takes ordinary lovemaking to an extraordinary stage is your natural communication. See, communication is key to any relationship. Even with sex, being vocal about what you crave is essential. Sex in itself is messy. Great sex means you have no inhibitions about getting messier with the act, about loud sounds, about the grunts, and, directing your partner's hands to places that you want to be touched and telling them how well certain things feel. And this might seem insignificant in, a non-sexual scenario, but the vocalization is a big turn on for your partner. So the louder you get about your sexual preferences, the better. Whether you just met or you've been having sex for years, having an immediate understanding of what the other person wants is very huge. That's why it's very important for you to be vocal when you're having it. I'm not saying you should be vocal, just talk extemporaneously, or just say anything that comes to mind, or just say nasty. No, I'm not saying that. Vocalize your needs. If you want to be touched in certain areas, tell your partner you want to be touched in this area, or tell your partner how you like, or tell your partner how what they did just made you feel, and how you would like for them to do it again. You've got to be vocal. I mean, I'm not saying all the time that you have to have, loud intercourse in the bedroom. No, I'm not saying that. But there are some times that you need to just be vocal, and that can just spice up or take it from this level to that level. The louder, the better. Whether you just met or you've been having it for years, just have an understanding of what this person needs, and do not come with a preconceived knowledge of what you think they should need. When it comes to the bedroom, both of you are a team. Do you understand? You both are a team. So this is what wins team titles, and it's what keeps sexual partners from having to stop sex to explain, here, move your leg like this. Oh, no, this is how I like it. Or put your hand this way. Or carry your fist to this point. Of course, sometimes those explainers are necessary, all right? And you should always be explicit about what you want and not be shy about it. But the best lovemaking feels spontaneous and natural, where you do not have to be told about where my mumu button is. You just go and you touch it, and I am going bonkers. You already know me. You know my terrain. You know what function. You know what you can touch. Just one touch and I will go crazy. You just know. You don't need to be taught. Spontaneous. Those are the things that get the scale up there. I said 8, right? But let me just give you bonuses. Number 9. Your insecurities just naturally melts away. You're so engaged in the act that all of your inhibition melts away. The insecurities about your body, I think I've talked about it, your smell. All of those things just go away because you don't care. You're enjoying what you're getting. Great sex makes everything else seem like background noise. The focus is the pleasure. The pleasure is the focus. If you and your partner can jump to your feet from the momentary awkward smell and quiffs from the juicy pot or the fart and fluid flowing out, you're just meant for each other. You're just meant to have great intercourse with each other. Like, no movement feels awkward for you, even if you fall off the bed when you're trying to change to a position. You just laugh over it and you just get on with it. Both of you are meant to be for each other, or be with each other in that way or in that sense. And number 10, see, forget about the perfect body, right? Great sex leaves you questioning yourself, like what you've been doing with your sex life all this while. It leaves you breathless. It leaves you panting and revisiting that one sexual experience. You start to think about it. Wow. You think about it and you have that grrr in your abdomen. Like, you still feel it. You still feel it. You find yourself getting deeply attached, deeply bonded, even when they're not around. It's like a page out of an erotic novel, or it's like the cinematographically brilliant scenes from a movie that you keep playing in your head over and over again How did he do that? How did she do that? How did she snatch my soul? So great lovemaking comes with an almost carnal pleasure that you had in you but never thought to explore, or you never got to explore. Are you understanding? Number 11, having an understanding of your partner's desires sets, great sex apart from normal sex. Now, if you share that immensely strong bond with your partner, I tell you for a fact, it can lead to more of spontaneous sex. And one thing that you can be assured of is that there is nothing hotter than spontaneous lovemaking, where it's not planned. It's not planned. It just comes and you're ready. It's spontaneous. You're ready. You don't have to prep yourself. Like just one touch, and before you know it, you're deep in each other's faces, kissing. Clothes are flying right, left, and center. And then there is this animalistic lust to want to be in each other's arms and to want to embrace each other and just soak and bask in the passion that is steaming off of your skin, your breath, your mouth, your sounds. It just happens. Like just one look gets you tearing them into pieces. And you keep going and going and going and going until you feel that release and you're empty. It's like you emptied yourself into your soulmate. And that's time of spontaneity. I don't know if I'm even making sense, honestly. Let me stop here. Oh, Jerry. Anyways, catch you when I catch you in the next episode. All right? My name is Jane Lawrence, and do well to subscribe, share, like, and I'll be in your faces. Mwah.